Alrighty, Doc here. Getting towards the end of the week. Tomorrow's the big number. That is what we're all looking for. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening somewhere. I just got done watching the Tokyo news out of NHK. So they're starting to settle down for the night, having their adult beverages after their busy day, that type of thing. There we go. We can see the dollar index right there on J4X. Let's put it up on the and we got the dollar index here too on the Chicago Quant. That's the CME dollar index versus the Life or the ICE. I guess it's the ICE, the International Commodities Exchange, and that's what the DXY is. That's what Dukascopy has right there. That's the most popular, I would say. This is a very good one, because they trade currencies for years at the CME, decades. And so that's how I ended up out in Chicago, because of their currency trading going on. You can see here, we are just kind of flattish today, but it's got a little red dot going on. You can see the green line trying to break down. So interest rates have been moving. We've been seeing the interest rates move in the down direction. There is some opinion that we'll get the 0.5%, which will confirm a lot of things. And then there's a strong feeling starting to develop in the quiet way, I guess you could call it, that we may see the Federal Reserve kind of pause. It's a possibility going into January, February. So I don't think like now they're going to start doing halves. They'll probably, if they'll do anything, they may do a quarter and then make an announcement of the pause in some way or another. Just to be able to see things out. I was, because of the housing starts and things like that, and there's a lot of data showing that things are dropping down in price. 40%, I think it's the 40% is the PPI, and that is housing prices. And we are seeing housing prices back off, and that will have more of an effect on the inflation. Obviously, energy is a biggie too, and so we need, I'm not sure if it's 20% or 15%, something like that, So we need that to start backing off, and we're seeing that also, especially when we go and look at the Canadian / the oil contract. We've seen Brent come down like, I don't know, $8 in the last 5 days or something of that nature, 6-7 days. So we're seeing the backing off of prices. So that will have some effect, and then it comes just it's basically policy. It's literally government policy more than anything else. They are doing things that clog up the system, confuse supply chains and so forth, and limit free flow of goods and services. That type of thing. That matter of fact, our the dollar is basically a description of that inflation. That's why the currency pairs exploded and the dollar went flying up, because of the high interest rate the states pay, and the United States pays. And so now we're getting into a point where it should start to roll over a little bit, because policies are going to get stalled, and so they can't do too much more damage, but they can drive people crazy, that's for sure. So there it is. You can see that. You can see we've been weeks in a weekly sell. We show you that every day. It's still confirming it with a very comfortable level. You see the same thing here on J4X. You can see we are way down at the low end of that range. Look at that. What's that? 9 something, right? I think that's what it is. It's like we're at 9 something. So that's pretty low. We don't get down that low. We haven't been that low for in over 2.5 years, like since the COVID situation back in December of 20. And so that's really, I guess that's that tail end of that V bottom right there, and that was the COVID start, and there it goes like that, and that's pretty big and wild. Let's go over to the daily just to take a quick look, and then we'll jump over to the euro itself. What did I do there? Where am I at? I don't see my chat line. Whoop, let me fix that. How did I lose my chat line? Where did my chat line go? Now we got a commercial. I see Robin saying hello. Okay, so there we are. All right, so that's the way things are playing out today. Tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow's the big news. The big news. And so you can see here on the daily, Uh, oh, that's not the daily yet. There we are. There's the daily. And let me just put my earphone in for a second in my ear so I can make sure that I can hear my voice. It's like nippers. Yep, there you go. I can hear my voice. That's good. All right. And you can see there it's been trying to bounce up for the last couple of days, and we're getting a red there today, reflecting exactly what we're doing over on Chicago Quant. All right, from there we drift over to the euro. See what the euro looks like this morning. There it is right there. You see the euro trying to lift up for the last 2 days. Let's put it over here. There it is right. There it is. So we've been in a daily sell for a couple of days. Today, our work is starting to try to turn up. So over here, you can see it's been down and trying to lift up. And it did lift it up yesterday, just like ours did. But we got that red and the green. Now today, it's all guns blazing to the upside, and we're in that weekly buy there, so it's not exactly that unique, in the sense that we know that there's underlining strength in the euro to go up because of our weekly signal. You can see that right there. Mark Mobius on one of the investment channels, looking dapper in yellow. Interesting. From there, let's just take a look at the weekly here, but I'm sure it's still rocking and rolling on the upside, not showing any real weakness, because ours is not showing any real weakness. Yeah, look at all that green. And then we dance our way over to the cable. And remember, traders, if you would like to see our analysis on any particular product, just shout it out. Gold, silver, S&Ps, indexes, whatever. We can get it on the screen. We'll talk about it and tell you where we see it going, or where it will be going, or something of that nature, of its direction. We'll give you a good solid opinion. It'll be a high percentage point of success too. 8.5 out of 10. We're usually right. That's almost 9 out of 10. That's not bad. Cable on a weekly basis, you see all that strength. We see the same thing over here. Right there. You see it's trying, and you can see we can see it right here. It's just jumping through. We should make that a dotted line instead of a solid line, because it's getting through. You can see it's plus. Like that right there. You see it's jumping through. It's trying to get through. The little white is through. You can see it right here in that little box there. It's a plus, not a minus. So the daily is trying to turn up there at the same time. And over on J4X, there's the daily doing the same thing. It's trying to turn up today. We saw some good action yesterday with that red and a green telling us something is coming. In other words, a strong or some type of move that should change the action is trying to come, and I'm assuming it just might mean another up move, because if our interest rates are dropping, then there's good reason for currency pairs to gain against the dollar, and that's pretty much the whole song of it. And the end result is that currency pairs have a great chance to gain against the dollar because interest rates are trying to project themselves into the downside. Indeed, indeed. There we are. Now, from there, we jump over to the Swiss. And there's the Swiss. You see that's doing the same thing too. Now, we've talked about this, and that is Credit Suisse, the private bank in Switzerland. Looks like they've cleaned up their problems, which is a good thing. That's what seemed to freak out the currency. So, and I guess what we're seeing now is that calming down, and that was some demonstrative moves in the Swiss. And it was odd as we saw the same action in the yen. Both of them were getting trapped into something, some problem somewhere. Maybe it was Japanese investors pulling out. Maybe that's what it was. Must be something of that nature. Because they were both marching together very closely compared to the rest of the currency pairs. They were kind of almost moving in the opposite direction, really. You can see there, that's the Swiss on a daily basis. And you can see it over here. So we went into the buy there, in a buy, and now we are flirting with the daily sell after 2 days. And you can see the weekly over here, right there. It has been in the weekly sell now, going on a 5th week. There we are. Put that buy signal on there so you can see it. That just kind of reminds you where we are. And this is playing with the sell side at the moment because we are below the 0 line there. See, it's a minus in the box right there. And you can see even the dots are giving us some negative flow. All right, how's that look? That looks pretty good. Now, from there, I'm just going to take a quick look at the weekly just to confirm that it's matching up well, and I'm sure it is. There it is, heading down. And it is down at some of the lowest range we've seen in almost 2 years. Look at that. Last time we saw that, that was in October of 31. I think that's there's probably an October of 22. So let's see if we can find it. There's August. Yeah. So that's back in 2021. They made that challenge down to that area. All right, and then from there we go to the yen, which was fascinating. We'll just leave that like that, right? And just go like this. And the yen is going to look a lot like that. Now that's a weekly, so it's, it's not going to look perfect, but it's got that same rhythm. And it moved up and then moved down. And you can see this thing, in the 11s. So it's heading down pretty clearly on the weekly basis. There she blows on Chicago Quant. And you can see that weekly has been driving hard down for weeks upon weeks. This is a 5th week now right there. It's... Let me think how to describe this. I guess the best way to describe it is that the yen has calmed down from its problems. In other words, when this thing is going down, it's gaining value against the dollar, just the same way the Swiss is. And you see that on the weekly. Let's put it on the daily. There we are. And you see that nice long drive down, just like we have here. That nice long drive down. If we move this over a little bit, you'll see both of them together, like so. There it is. So you have that there. That's what that peak is right there. And you can see it, kept the rhythm and they moved south perfectly. Now this J4X is pushing up in the daily. You can see it there. It's for the last couple days. It's trying to tell you that there's buyers coming in. And over here, seeing the same thing. Let's widen that out now, just to emphasize it. There we are. See the thing we've been and Swiss is doing that same thing. Looks identical to the Swiss action. It gets into the buy, a couple of days in the buy, and it's going into the sell. It's interesting how the two of them are doing that. That they are in lockstep. And I guess you think of Switzerland as a place people park equity, for safety, and just like they do in the United States. And then when you think about that, the action that's going on, obviously the yen was being affected because they probably were invested over there. And we talked about this yesterday, the day before, I think, where some big Saudi investors came in and bought Credit Suisse stock. It was trading around $2.60 a share now. Down dramatically. It's bankruptcy prices, and they ran it up to $3.20, a 60-cent move, which is a big move for a $2.60 move stock. So it may have been that same situation. Japan may have been very invested into Credit Suisse also, which is a big name. Why not? You're trying to diversify world banks across the world. Unfortunately, it seems like Credit Suisse is at the twilight of its existence at this point. We'll see. Because I saw actual good articles on Deutsche Bank, and I mentioned that yesterday. And Deutsche Bank is starting to see some movement in the stock on the upside. It's at $10 or something. Matter of fact, why don't we do that? Let's just take a quick look at Deutsche Bank. I'm sure it's on here somewhere. There's the German index. As I sip my tea, let's see if we can find Deutsche Bank itself. And if anybody knows what the symbol is, just shout it out. A lot of yen stocks there. Look at that. There's British stocks. There's European. Let's see if we can find in the D's. Deutsche Bank. There's the B's. Let's see. Daimler. What is that? Is that the Deutsche Bank or the Deutsche Börse? There it is right underneath, I think, possibly. And you can see Deutsche Bank. What is that? That's the daily. So they did spike it up to $10.60, and you can see this product was down in the sixes or something like that. That was the all-time low right there. So, and let's go to a weekly and see how that action really reflects. We're going to make that the whole screen also at the same time. Yeah, so we're looking at a company that got down to, that's in 2000, was that 2019, got down into the $4 area. And it used to be before the massive calamity of 2008, the bankruptcy of the, I wonder what a monthly would do. Let's see how far back a monthly goes. And our Citibank in the United States looks the same way. At least it still exists, I guess you could say. Whereas a Merrill Lynch is owned by somebody else altogether now. And it seems like they go back about 10 years. So you see there, that's of 2011. It was, I might as well put it back into that weekly mode. There we are. And so, we're looking at a currency, a stock that was in the 50s and the 60s, just the same way as Citibank is in the United States, and now, traded down to $5 and it's hanging around in the $10 area. That's what is that, 80% off? Same thing with Citibank in the United States. And they're both owned like in the same way. Citibank owned by the Federal Reserve basically, and Deutsche Bank basically owned by the Federal Bank of Germany or something of that nature. All right. So yeah, maybe there was a lot of money in Tokyo there. I could imagine that, and they probably ran. I mean, get scared and go. I wonder if we could put Swiss up there. Let's see if we can get the Swiss. Let's see, it would be an S, right? So it's probably in a euro situation like that. So it's probably in the S's. Let's see if we can find Swiss Bank. That'd be interesting to see. Like I said, I saw it trading in the 260s, and now it's trading at around $3. HIJKLMNOP. We're getting warm. There we go. There's the S's. Safari. SAP. I guess it would be SW of some form. Let me put my glasses on and see if we can really. I would love to see that, and that kind of gives us that clarity about what's been going on with the currencies itself. Remember, there's Swiss Life Holding, and let's see, is there anything else? I guess there's a Scottish. I don't see Swiss Bank itself. Swedish. Yeah. Nope, don't see it. All right, well, we tried. That's all it comes down to. All right, from there we go over to, let's see, I guess we were working on the yen, weren't we? Yeah, we were working on the yen. So from the yen, we jump over to, where do we go to? Go over to the Turkish lira. Let's see what did I do there? What did I just do there? Did I minimize it somehow? Where did I just put my chart? There it is. Okay. And then we got to turn on, so we go like that. And then we want to turn on the bottom. Where did the strategy go? I think I've blown my system up. We'll find it. And let's put the dollar Turkish lira up there. Right there. Let's see if I can figure out what I blew up and how to get it back. There must be a chart here somewhere. That's that. Huh. See if I can figure out how I did that. What did I do wrong there? I guess, what do we, they must be candlesticks to start off with. So what did I do? Let's see. Let's fix this whole thing. If I close it and start it over again, maybe it'll be happy. Let's see what happens there. Do you want to exit? Yes. Okay, now let's try opening it again. Well, you can't believe what that password is. It's it's definitely interesting. Please come back to normal. And the answer is it did not. Okay, so we're going to have to just insert those things back in again. And so, no, get rid of that. And then we go insert. Let's see, let's make this the whole page again. You'll be able to see how we put this together. Where is it at? Hinky, there's the hinkies. And then let's do that again. There. Let's see. There we are. I'll try to put the two together. Let's see if we can, let's see, indicator, edit indicator. Let's see, how do we do this? We want to put them over each other again. Output levels. Let's see, display indicator, series. Let's see. Can't just grab it and move it up. Darn. Alright, did I just do that? There you go. Okay, there we are. We're back in the saddle again. Alright, now there's the daily. I mean, that's the weekly right now. You can see it's trying to stay up strong, you know, but we've been slid into some type of, what's this? This is the weekly. And we're in a weekly. That's what's been really odd is we've been in a weekly sell in Chicago Quant, which is interesting. When it comes to the dollar, Turkish lira, you see that right there for like 3 weeks. There we are. And you can see the daily here is going into a sell. Was that a couple yesterday? It went into the sell right there. And let's put the daily up there. Right there. So we can do this too. File, workspace, save. Matter of fact, maybe we should try to save it as something too. File, save, workspace as. Where are we? I see Manhattan. Oh, it's already in there. Manhattan. Good. Save. Perfect. Okay. And so you can see there that the daily has been inching its way up. And you can see here in Chicago Quant, it's just, because of these crazy spikes anymore, it's just made it really messy. The daily doesn't seem to be as affected as much, but the weeklies has been affected by all those wild spikes. And so it's just kind of telling us that it's going sideways. Now, when we go and look at the euro, yo, George, Doc, looks like silver is back in the saddle again. Yeah, let's go for it. Weekly has stayed in a buy, green dot on a bar chart to go. I hear you. Let's throw it up on J4X to start off with. I know Robin sent over a really interesting chart to me that, is, matter of fact, I'll see if I can put it up on the screen. And then here it is there. And there's the silver. Looking good. Looking good. And then, let me see if I can find what Robin sent over to me. Let's see. Robin labeled it as look. There it is. And that is, Robin was saying, this is, let's see if we can make it bigger like that. There we go. And that's the silver contract. Yeah, so, we talked about this. We've been saying stuff about this for a while, but, we're seeing, what we're really thinking more than anything else is we're seeing silver really trying to, maybe get back up into those 24s. Maybe then it might even bounce even beyond that. It'd be nice to see, see how it does. It's not enlarged already? Let's see. You mean like that? Oh, wait a minute. Like that, maybe. There we are. And then, how's that? Is that better? Let's see, one more time, move it over. I guess that last one's the better one. Just one shrink down like that. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the reverse head and shoulders, the finger, the whole bit, It has that look. It's trying. There's no doubt about that. It is trying. And we'll see how they march along doing that. But in the end result is that is, it's obviously a nice bullish thing. And where we at on the Chicago Quant? Let's minimize that. There we are. Yeah, you can see that there. We let's see, how did we play that? How did the math pick it up? So there must be the finger right there. We're in a buy. This is very strange, wasn't it? This is the back month too, so it was probably not. It's not clean back in here, and then we started cleaning it up in this area probably in the last 3 weeks when we added it to the March put the March contract as the front. You can see it makes more sense. It gets into the buy here, right before it does. Let me see if I can find it. Is that it? No. That might be it right there. So that's, I guess, let's see if we can do this. Shrink this down. So where's the finger on us? I guess that's the finger right there. So that's the finger right there. And then the breakout, this breakout right here, let's see. That breakout was that probably right there. Yeah, it gets into the sell. It's not really. It's been a daily sell. Then it gets into the daily buy, and that's the breakout of the finger, I guess, right there. Yeah, let's move that over. And that must be this. That's what that is. So we've been in the weekly buy since the beginning of right before the real breakout. I guess that's the way to look at it. Right there in the 19 area. We get into the weekly buy, and it gets up to almost 23. So that's been very interesting. And let's put this over there again one more time. So let's see if we can do this. So where is it at? What is that? That is the beginning of November. So it's this. This weekly buy correlated right here. That's where the weekly buy was, right there. And let's see if we can scrunch this up a little bit to make it make more sense to everybody. Where's that? There we are. Like that, and then like that. So this, I guess the weekly buy is right here, which is that right there. I guess that's how it is. So right there, we went into the weekly buy here, and we've gotten that much out of it. That's what it comes down to. What's this? That's the week of October 29th to the first week in November. So let's put it on there and enlargen it. Yeah, right there. So that's where we go into the weekly buy, right in there. There it is, right there. So that makes total sense. Okay. Let's see. Green dot on bar. Yep. And Robin says, click on it, enlarge it. Yes. Massive bottom. What price fee? What price feed do you use for multi charts? I use a couple, but this is the CME. CME? Comex. I'm sorry. It's Comex. All right, now let's go from there to let's see, where are we going from there? Oh, what currency we're in? We were looking at Turkish lira, right? Yeah. So let's do this. Let's go over to here again. There's Turkish lira, and let's jump over to the Euro Turkish lira right there. And so you can see here it's trying to turn up. It's still minus over here. You see that right there? That minus right there. It's trying to turn up, and it's still in the weekly buy now for 2, 4, 6, 8 full weeks. So let's see. And there, let's put it up on there now on J4X. There it is, right there. You see that strength in it on the daily, just like us. And let's take a look at it on the weekly, which is going to be green, green, green. See all that green? I like green. It's been marching up. Let's see. Where do we go from there? We go to we go to the Canadian dollar against oil. That's what we do. We shift over to those gears. I'm going to take a sip of tea as we do that. Good. All right. Right there. There's CAD. So you can see the CAD has been trying to move up the last couple of days, which is making sense solely because we see crude oil right there. Going down. So as it loses value again, it's losing value. Today it's popping up a little bit, but as it's losing value, the Canadian has a tendency to follow that. And so right, where's it at? CAD, right there. See the same thing. So as oil was going down, the Canadian was losing value against the dollar, the U.S. dollar, and then today it's trying to gain against the U.S. dollar. You can see it's even playing with the daily sell area here, since we've been in the buy, right, daily buy there. But we're in a weekly sell, so you really try to steer clear of those longs. You just try not to be trapped in a short. That's all. So you don't get stopped out and then frustrated and so forth. You can see here the weekly is actually threatening at the moment. It's actually threatening the weekly buy. So that, in some ways, is screaming at us that oil maybe oil's going to stay down here. There we are. Alrighty. Now from there, we jump over to what is it? We jump over to the other currency that's even more precise, except for from the political noise that we've seen. We've never seen it drift that far away, but we're going to look at the South African rand. There. And you can see from that political news that made this big spike, we should put a little box on that. You can see that that was politics. Matter of fact, we should write that in there. Politics. The president of the country was asked to step down. He said, no, don't care. There we are. And that was it. He's not stepping down. Has no interest in stepping down. And so you can see here it's calmed down and it's moving down, which is usually bullish for this product right here. And that is gold. There you go. And you see it there. It's gold is trying to lift up. Yesterday they spiked it. We're playing with the daily buy today. You can see that pressure on it there. And let's see, where do we go from there? I guess we go over to the copper contract. Copper is like, as I always say, it's like a window into Japan, China. There was talk. I just go a little bit further into this, just as speculative, not guaranteed right or wrong, but not like our math is 85% of the time, if not more, 90% of the time right. They said that a lot of people were surprised how the Chinese government responded to the protests, in the sense of that it was the way the COVID lockdown is getting removed. So I guess that's that classic choose your battles smartly, and so the communists, the CCP, is basically saying, yeah, we'll remove the lockdowns. We've had it. We're tired of it. We need our economy to grow, and that is pretty much the whole magic of it all now. That is the magic of it. So now, let me see. Let's do this. I'm just going to get rid of that. There we go. Did I get rid of all that? I might have done that, didn't I? There we are. So from there we go over to copper. Let's see what copper looks like. And there's copper, and it's dancing high and strong. That's for sure. It's dancing high and strong. Look at that. It's just making a nice solid move. It's in that weekly buy. It's been in a daily buy since back in here. This first daily buy was at the end of the CCP conference or Congress. That's it, Congress, I think they call it. And so you see the Chinese economy is trying to get going. All they need now is the Americans to buy from them again. That's pretty much what it comes down to. If we don't buy from them, then they don't make much money. And so that's the next step. Let's put it up over here. What is that? Copper, right? So let's put copper up there. Right there, there's copper. You see it's trying to turn up. That's the weekly. It's looking very fine. And let's go to the daily. Nope, not there. There. Right there it is. See that daily's been marching very strongly. Same situation. It's been in that buy since back in here. You see the green line has been up. It's kind of choked a little bit, and now it's trying to climb back up again, and it's already at a nice high range of the area, And then let's go over to. I'm going to look at platinum again. Normally we try to only do it 3 days a week, but I'm curious because of the action. The weekly is holding on the top part of the manifold itself, so it's not bad. It's still cleanly in a plus, no problem. And the echo of the 5 gas line is bouncing up out of negative back into positive. So we'll see if they take it to the 1150 area this time instead of just 1050. Let's see if the real metals bull market is going to come alive. Now from copper, we go over to the energy sector. Let's see. Energies. So there is Brent, probably trading at the $80 or $81 area. Oh, look at that. 78. I thought it was bouncing. Let's go back over to Chicano. I thought we're seeing a bounce in oil today. Thought maybe they would get it back up there. Let's see. No, I guess I could have sworn this was the day it was in the 80s. Yesterday, up in this area, it was in the 80s, like 80 and change. But to be down 78, that's interesting. A little surprised that Brent is feeling the pain. That is the daily. And you can see they have been pushing that down for a while. Look at that. Now we're getting into the the fourth quarter of 2001, maybe? Yeah, 2000. No, yes, I think that's 2001. No, that's 19. That's 2000. That's what that is. So this is the. Let's see. When was the invasion? 21 or 22? It was 22 this year, right? Yeah. So this is the invasion right there. That move right there. No, it can't be. This had to be it. So that must be March, yes, of 22. And there is July. And here we are going into the end of the year. So this is the move there from the invasion in Ukraine. Let's see. And let's just take a look at the weekly there. There's the weekly in Brent. Same situation. In that sell for a few weeks now, 4 weeks, like us. And we're playing with the 5th week now. Huh, cool. They got a prisoner swap. Brittany Griner is leaving what she thinks is a wonderful place in handcuffs back to America. So she's going to be exiled to America because I think she's unhappy with us all the time. That's that great basketball star in the Women's Basketball Association. Alrighty, from there we go over to, where are we going to go to? Nat gas. Let's see what natural gas is doing here in the States. Right there. Trading up. We were in the 5.4s. Now we're in the 5.8s. Just seeing a little strength. Whoa, look at that. Oh, this is the weekly, yeah. So that reflects that bounce down. Over here on Chicago Quant, we have right there Nat Gas. You can see there, it's had a nice drop from the $8 area all the way down in the daily sell, and we're flirting finally with the daily buy today. Finally seeing an attempt. right there. There we are. And nat gas over on same situation, 58.3, and you can see on the daily, probably right there. You see it's just getting ready. The curve is curving. It's lows of tens and the nines and the eights. You know, it goes from 0 to 100 back and forth with the two different stochastics battling with each other. And then we go to let's see, did we show the back? Let's see what the Contango is doing in crude oil. And oh, I know. Let's go take a look at. We'll look at the energy company in Spain that does natural gas, and it's been trading in the 27s. So let's see what they're doing today to it. Right. Is that it? It's around here somewhere. There it is, right there. 26s. Cool. So they're keeping that down. That's a very positive sign, meaning prices in Europe are getting a little bit thinner, or in other words, they're going down, which is important. We want to see those things go down. Then from there, let's see, that finishes that off, and I want to see what the Contango is doing in the United States today. So to start off with, there is January, the front month, trading at 74.51 as we speak. Right there, you can see the numbers changing. And then let's take a look at the back month, March, a few months later. There it is. And there's the March contract. And it seems like the Contango is washed away. So it's at 74.44. And let's go back and see where the front month is. So they started the Contango at, I guess now they're calming down about that. So it's trading at 44. And so it's back into a premium. So the front month now is carrying a premium again. So maybe they're thinking that we're getting towards a bottom. I don't know. I mean, look at our work. You can see it has spiked all the way down. It's pretty far down, taking out this low here, right there. And if we tighten it up a little bit, what is this? This is the January contract. Yeah, let's just tighten that up. I guess the last time was back in July. Question is, let's see what that is. That is, the white is, histogram is minus 302. Let's see what the histogram is here. Minus 384. So it's a lower low. It's definitely a lower low. And let's go back a little bit further. See if there's another channel. No, this only goes back to April. Okay. All right. So the Contango seems to have disappeared. Or it's back, let's put it this way, it's back in norm now, where front months carry premiums. And maybe it means something. Maybe it doesn't. We'll see. Let's take a look at it here on Chicago, on J4X. Right. Light sweet right there. And as you can see here, that's what the daily. And then let's put the weekly in there. And so we can see that this hasn't taken out these two lows. That's interesting. Maybe it's going to, a higher low on the technical analysis, and maybe they're going to try. It's a higher low when you look at this whole broad spectrum from here to there. We'll see. It's obviously it's a lower low from all these. Let's see if they start to take it out and start taking out, say, the 80 some odd dollar area, something like that. All right, that completes the energy sector, unless someone wants to see something in energies. And then from there, we're going to go over to the stock indices. Now, today, the December contract is basically going to be switched with March at the end of the day through Chicago Quant. We'll switch that. On the Tech 100, it usually takes Monday or Tuesday of next week to switch it because it's the more liquid product for a while. Same thing with the Dow Jones Industrial Average. we're going to be watching those because they expire next Friday. So the futures contracts expire next Friday. And there's probably trillions laying on top of it. All right, from there, let's go find it. Let's take a look at the S&P 500 right there. There's the S&P 500 on a weekly basis. Holding on pretty well, but at the top end of its range. You can see that. And it's a lower high. And that's what it's been doing. Lower highs all the way down. We have been overall off of that low. We've been in a weekly buy. See it right there. There it is right there. Same situation. Been in a weekly buy for a 7th week. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So since the close of that week right there. And off of that low finger thing. So interesting. Curved. Good signal. All right. Now we'll take a look at the NASDAQ 100 right there. You can see it's acting just as poorly. And it went in and out, reds, green, reds, and then green. And now for, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th week it's in a buy. We'll put it up over here. There we are. Same situation there, been in a weekly buy for 5 weeks now. Right there. And we are in the daily sell since right here. Let's put the daily buy into. It's been a laggard in many ways, even more. It obviously has lost more money than any of the other major indices. And so, it's very interest sensitive, so it needs to adjust constantly for interest rates moving around the way they've been moving. And then from there, what do we do? We go over to the, what do we got here? Let's just make sure we got that there. There we go. Now you can see it. There we are. Let's put the daily in there. There's the daily. Showing that weakness there. Looks like it's trying to turn, but it needs a lot more work. Obviously, with tomorrow's big number coming out, maybe it'll have some clarity. It's hard to say. I forget what the last one was, but I think they jacked the market up on the last one. I think so, and that was like the peak, basically. Was it employment number or something like that? Now let's drive over to the Dow Jones. Now, whereas for the year, the Tech 100 is down 20 some odd percent. It was down like 30 some odd percent. And the S&P 500 was down like 20 some odd percent. And is only down like, I guess it's like around 12 or 13% now. Now the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is down about 6%, which it got down about maybe 17, 18%. I don't think it ever touched 20, but so the Dow Jones Industrial Average is definitely outperforming the rest of them. And they're the classic, big, old, strong companies that don't need as much borrowing as the Tech 100 does. And so interest rates don't have as an effect. That's why it outperforms it. You can see here on the daily, it's been pressure for the 4 days. Let's put it up over here. You see a volatility signal there, and then pushed down from there. I think this is actually March. I did put a March in there. This is in March now. And you can see it's trying to bounce back up again with a red and a green today. So you can see that pressure that's developing on the upside. And let's see. And let me show you a better one. Open. I usually use this one right here, my weekly one that I pay attention to. Look at it once a day, see what's going on. So you can see there are 3 days in a sell, and you can see it's been in a weekly buy 2, 4, 6. This is the 8th week in a weekly buy, holding up very well there. So more than likely that the pressure is on the upside, and maybe it'll bottom in here and lift again. Maybe there is a ho-ho rally out there hiding, waiting to appear out of nowhere. All right. Now, last but not least, we'll take a look at the most speculative, and I think we have it in here too. And that is the Russell 2000. Where is that? Is that it? No, that's not it. Is that it? I think that's the Russell 2000, trading at 1,815 at the moment. And let's put that up. That thing won't be able to switch months with that for, I think it's like Wednesday of next week. It'll be giving us problems on switching because it's more liquid than the others. Now let's put it up on the screen. That's the CME product. Right there. This is the most speculative of all the stock indices. And right there. There we go. You see there a daily sell for three full days. And this is the fourth day, and we're getting a volatility signal. And it's still in the weekly buy, like the Dow, one of the longest. What's that? 2, 4, 6 on a 7th week, whereas the Dow was on an 8th week. And the S&Ps are like on a 6th week, maybe? Let's double check it. 6, 2, 4, 6, going on a 7th week also. And then the NASDAQ, it's just going on a 5th week. So you can see the performances and the way they act. You know, they all have been having that issue. So that's pretty much that. Now let's just finish this off with Bitcoin right there, the December contract. They pushed it in the daily sell a couple of days ago. Let's widen this out more. There we are. So, you know, it's got the buy going on. It's flirting with, you can see it's plus at the moment right there. It's trying to get back into the buy. It's been in a weekly sell since the, I guess, 1800 areas, 1900 areas, something like that. 18,000, I'm sorry, 18,000. And same thing with the weekly. That weekly went into the sell right there. To be exact. The number pierced off of this closing bar. So that's where we are with the stock indices and the crypto indices / many great attributes. That's the only way to look at that. So we'll put a title together and we will get out of here. And this is Doc from North America. Tomorrow is TGIF. We will see you all tomorrow, same time, same web space. So, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. All right, traders, later.